Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking through the body hero armor for Ruin. This is the one that requires you to get 6 gravity spike kills in one game 6 times. At the start I found this quite challenging for some reason, I don't really know why. Getting the double kills with it happened really quickly for me, but getting 6 kills just seemed like quite a lot and I was getting nowhere near. But I found ways to make it much easier for myself, and these are the tips that I'm going to share with you guys today. So the first thing, and what I can't stress enough, is just how luck based this is going to be for you. There are no definite tips that are going to make this work for you faster. It is literally going to depend on how many enemies there are stood in one place. The tips I'm going to give you should make this process a little bit quicker though, however, but it still comes down to luck. You need multiple enemies to build up near each other in the right place and even on the right height. People on higher levels won't be hit by the gravity spikes if you go on the floor. So it is just luck based in that sense. However, there are some ways that will enable you to get this a little bit quicker than just running around in, say, Team Deathmatch or something. So I've said this before at the start of other videos like this, but overclock is something that is really important just so you earn your gravity spikes quickly, and it means you earn them more often in the game. This is really important because fairly often you might only get 1 or 2 kills per use unless you get particularly lucky. So you need to earn it as many times as you can in order to get these 6 kills throughout the game. My second tip is to choose game modes where enemies are going to be grouped together. Hardpoint is definitely one of the best options for this. Everyone congregates around that one hardpoint, and if the enemies are inside it, you're likely to find that there are multiple in there, so just spiking into that can always be a good option. Domination is similar with the flags, however it's a little bit different. You need to have the enemies taking the flag, and sometimes you might only get one person trying it, sometimes you might get all of them. But another good one, and I guess a lot of people would recommend this first, is Safeguard. This is because everyone groups around the robot or around the objective. You see quite a lot of good clips on these like top 5 of the week or whatever. On Hunted, where the guys jump over the side and spike near the objective goal, and they get about 6, 7, 8 kills, whatever it is like that. Safeguard worked alright for me, but I found that these days people tend not to play the objective quite as much as they should. They quite often just go for kills, they sort of float around. You normally only find 1 or 2 people near the robot, so it wasn't quite as good. Hardpoint definitely worked for me very well, so that's what I would recommend first. If you didn't notice, all 3 of these games appear in the Ground War playlist. This is definitely where I found it easiest to complete this challenge and where I'd recommend you go. Just because there are more people on the enemy team, the chance of enemies being grouped together is a lot greater. There's just more people to kill really, so it's going to happen a little bit quicker, and hopefully instead of getting 1 or 2 kills, you might get 3 kills every time you gravity spike. Just helps you go a little bit quicker with it. A really good tip for games like Domination and Safeguard is if you have your gravity spikes towards the end of the round when it's about to switch, keep hold of them, hold on to it, and at the start of the next round, use it then instead. There's a lot more chance of people being bunched together, so you can hopefully get the multi-kills that you're looking for. So now that you've started playing these game modes and you've earned your gravity spikes, don't get too excited and go for the first person that you see. You need to be a bit more tactical with it and not just spike randomly just to kill one person every now and again. You need to time your gravity spikes very carefully actually. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you can sort of aim to get more than 1 kill. So one of the best tactics is to flank behind enemies near objectives where people build up. You can sort of guess where the common spots will be. People like to go to these spots. They're normally where you're having a gunfight with people. If you can get round the back and get into the back of that bit, hopefully there'll be some people just waiting there, shooting at your teammates. You might be able to get a couple of kills that way. Running straight at people doesn't always work. You're going to get killed sometimes, and the worst thing is when you are jumping to spike, someone kills you mid-air, it uses up your ability and you don't get any kills at all. Just a waste of a gravity spikes that. If it helps, you can create another class with like Ghost, cold-blooded, dead silence, and a silencer and things like that on it. If this helps you to sneak around the back of the enemies, I found it quite useful to do this, especially in game modes like Domination. If you can flank around the back and sort of get where people are looking at the B flag maybe, hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 people there that you can sort of spike on, get a couple of kills that way. While doing this, and this is going to sound a little bit weird really, is to not always shoot people. It's expected in Call of Duty that when you see someone, especially when they're close by, you shoot them. You'll find it that if you don't shoot people, people don't actually even know you're there, and they just run straight past you. Obviously people do this with ninja diffusers all the time, but it happens in ordinary game modes as well. If you stand in a corner of a room that's popular, and just don't shoot anyone, then people tend not to even know you're there and just ignore you completely. And what you can do with this is watch people run past you and wait for the time that you can see multiple enemies on your screen, or that you know they're there. If they haven't seen you, you can wait for 2-3 people to build up and then just use your spikes then, and hopefully get the multi-kill again that you're looking for. Sometimes you'll find waiting for the right amount of enemies on your screen is the best tactic to go for. However, it does take a little bit of time and it might not always be the best in terms of getting multiple gravity spikes in that game. However, I have got this a couple of times and got lucky off of it. So to summarise, play objective based game modes where enemies are going to build up together, and be a little bit patient with your gravity spikes. Run around the back of people, go into objectives, be a bit sneaky, don't always kill people. You will find that hopefully these tips make it a little bit quicker for you. Once again though, it is luck based and you are going to have to wait for the enemies to build up, and it really depends on people sticking near each other or being spread out around the map. I hope you guys have found this video useful. If you have, feel free to hit the like button below. Comment if this helped you in any way, or if you have any bonus tips that you'd like to share. Subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys later.